Welcome back, troglodytes, to Would You Rock or Not? There's a really special Les Paul that showed up on Reverb today that I wanted to share with you guys. It's another Brazilian Les Paul custom. Now, I've actually owned a Brazilian custom before, so I'm going to leave all the nitpicky details in those other videos that you can feel free to check out, but here's a quick lowdown on the Brazilian topped customs. These are rare because Brazilian Rosewood was not used in this period of Gibson simply due to conservationist efforts. Basically, manufacturers could only use it if they had it before the ban. This is one of the few models that Gibson used it on. There's only approximately 50 to 62 of these customs in existence. The majority of them feature mahogany necks, but there are a few rumored to be approximately 10 with a maple neck. And that's the only version I have not owned, and one finally showed up, and this thing has so many unique features to it. Now the top, it's kind of so-so for me. A Brazilian Rosewood custom, in my opinion, should have a lot of different colors in it. I mean, this one has some nice streaking, don't get me wrong, it is a nice example. However, this is what I think a Brazilian top custom should look like. It should have many red streaks and dark streaks in it with tons of wood grain. This has to be my favorite Brazilian custom I've ever seen. Unfortunately, from a collectible status, it wasn't in the best condition. However, this guitar was given to me in a psychic vision. And then the other Brazilian custom I had, it had some great wood grain as well, but isn't necessarily as great as that other one. This one I nicknamed the Yeti because of the Yeti-like feature right here in the wood. So the top is nice on this one, but here's what makes it special. Take a look at that neck. Not only is it one of the maple-necked versions, but this is the first one I've seen that has considerable flame in it. Now, I'm not going to tell you this is the most flamed neck in the world. As you can see by the photos on the screen, I've had my fair share of stupidly crazy flamed necks. But the only other one of these I've seen with a maple neck had a very plain look to it. So it was interesting to see one with some figuring. But there's one more surprise about this one that I feel makes it the most collectible Brazilian custom in existence. Take a good look at that 15th fret. Your eyes aren't tricking you, that is a 20th Anniversary Inlay. Those were used on the 1974 Les Paul Customs to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Customs, because they were introduced in 1954. So the old adage that they only existed in 1975 might be incorrect. I also thought that all the maple neck ones would have been late 75 since those were transitional. Now the seller doesn't have any pot codes, but I'm guessing this is either a very late 74 or a very early 75 that was just using up some spare inlays. But that inlay makes this one incredibly special. Now, I would love to buy this one and document it. That way I would have maple neck versions and mahogany neck versions on my channel. But at $12,000, that's definitely priced for an end user collector. To put it into perspective, I was asking 10 grand on my near mint Brazilian. And for my beat up refretted one, I was asking 7.5. So it doesn't look like I'll be able to buy this one simply because business is business. There would be no way I could get out of that guitar. However, I think if you're in the market for a Brazilian custom, this is probably the one that you want to make an offer on because it's nice. The only thing that stopped me from actually making an offer on this guitar and trying to buy it in spite of better judgment is they refretted it. Why? It kills me from a collector's perspective that such a fine example has now been ruined. Now you might say, hey, a refret, that's a great thing. It's going to play better now. Yes, that is true. And how much does a refret devalue a guitar, you might also ask me? There's not really a set answer for that. It's not necessarily that it has been devalued, it just changes who is willing to buy that instrument. I sourced some really nice guitars for some really high-end collectors, and most of them will now shun this example simply because of the refret. The only thing you really lose in the refret is the fret nibs. Sometimes you can retain them, but most times they're not. So I wish this guy luck getting his $12,000 price tag, but that refret, it's just so unfortunate from a collector's standpoint. So these guitars have a Brazilian rosewood top, mahogany back, and either a mahogany or maple neck. So there's no audio demos available of a maple necked version, but I will play you some of the mahogany necks that I've had. The maple one would probably have a slightly brighter tone. The only question left, would you rock a Brazilian Rosewood top Les Paul Custom or not? Leave your answer down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.